with Mike Elston, the defensive line coach. Coach, tell me a little bit about this day and how special it is to have it finally here.
No doubt. Well, I'm the most excited guy in the building today because we signed 4 defensive linemen and several state champions out of the group, and it's just an exciting time to add to our culture at the defensive line with great talent and skilled players, but also guys that will represent Notre Dame in the right way off the field and in the classroom.
Will you tell me a little bit about the background of each of these players?
Yeah, well, we'll start with, from the East Coast, we have Howard Cross, who comes from a great football family. He goes to St. Joe Regional High School out in New Jersey that just won the state championship there. Howard is a very versatile player with elite skill set for interior player, but also a unique skill set that he can move outside and play on the edge. Very similar to what we've done with Jerry Tillery this season. So I'm excited for that with Howard because he gives us some great flexibility in moving him around. Then you go, to Kentucky and you have Jacob Lacey, who also just won the state championship, which is exciting. He's a 2-sport athlete. I went and watched him play baseball in the spring, and his first at-bat, he stroked a home run. So just a phenomenal athlete, big guy. He led the team in stolen bases even at 275, 285 pounds. So, what he brings to the football field is just an aggressive nature of play, a very intelligent young man, a great student, and obviously his experience of winning will be great to add to our defensive line. And then you go south to Texas, we have 2 guys from Dallas, well, one from Fort Worth and one from Dallas. Hunter Spears from Saxe High School, who had a really good season this year and then ended it unfortunately with an injury in the playoffs. But his team went far, and he was a great reason for that. So another great student, great ambassador for that school, and is going to be great here. And then Nano Asafa Menza, more of a defensive end, what we call our drop position, great athlete, adds a great skill set of pass rush that we so need in every class. So very excited for those 4 guys. That's kind of, just a quick synopsis of those guys.
Specifically with Howard, father won the Super Bowl, Alabama. How great was it to have him come to Notre Dame and join this program? Oh,
it was great. So, excuse me, he came here on a visit with his father. And he wasn't going to make any decisions anytime soon. And then, my wife and I went to pick him up to take him to dinner. And he said, "Hey, Coach, what if I was to commit right now?" And so I said, "Well, if you were to commit right now, I'd stop the car, I'd drag you out of the back seat, and I'd give you a big hug." And he goes, "Well, that's what I want to do." So we slammed on the brakes, we pulled it over, and had the celebration right there. But it was, it was fun. And he just fell in love with the place when he got here, and he's a great kid to hang out with. He doesn't say much, but when he does talk, there's meaning behind it, and he put some thought into it.
So how was that FaceTime today then?
It was great. He didn't do too much talking, and when I got off the phone with him, I said, next time we should have his mom in the background or something like that, his dad to add to the conversation. But no, he's a great kid. From a great school, and his coach Augie Hoffman has been great with this process, and so no, he's just a quiet kid.
And with Jacob, you mentioned dual sport athlete. Do you guys look for that when you're going through this recruiting process? Yeah, we love guys that have that versatility. That you want guys that compete in everything that they do, and so whether they're track and field or basketball or a lot of times for us at D-line. The D tackles don't do many other things, and so to see a guy like him that's that big, that's athletic, it's rare. But we love that when it happens, and so we look for that. And Coach, overall, how do these players help encompass a Notre Dame athlete? Well, they're well-rounded. They all come from a great family that's very supportive. They have a great support system with that. Their spirituality is in the forefront. Their education is also in the forefront. They're all 3.8 to 4.0 students. So, and they all come from really challenging high schools that when they get here, it won't be a shock to their system to go to a classroom and be demanded, to achieve at a high level. Yeah, finally, for you guys have a lot of early enrollees in this recruiting class. How special is that to get them, into the weight room and everything starting soon? Yeah, that's great. And we have 3 of them along the defensive line. I wish Howard was coming mid-year as well. And the same thing with Coach Quinn. He's got 4 guys coming in mid-year. So 7 of the earlier enrollees are linemen, which makes it great because those guys, they take a lot of work, in the weight room and with the techniques that we teach them, throughout spring ball, but they get that benefit of the winter conditioning and lifting along with the 15 practices spring ball, which makes them, they're all going to play as freshmen along the defensive line. It's just a matter of how much they play. Like we played everybody this season because of the new redshirt rule.
And so, you know, them coming here is going to allow them just maybe to play a little bit more and fill some holes in different scenarios that we have.
Well, very exciting time for them and for you. Thanks so much for the time.
That's right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.